We are out here, we're just cleaning up the trail again, getting that nice and cut down. More or less an experiment to see if deer are utilizing this more, or would they rather have, you know, the part of the farm where it just never gets touched. And we're starting to clear off some spots that we're going to end up putting in screening. So we're coming in, taking out all the tall vegetation, and we're gonna end up putting in some Egyptian wheat, I think, again this year. You can see it here. Had a pretty sturdy stalk, and they were 10 feet tall in here, some of them. It was just a really rough test idea, and it worked out. So we're gonna actually come in and make a really nice band in here. We're gonna screen this food plot in the corner from this big wide open ag field. We access some stands on that side, and we come through here a lot, so we're creating it so we don't have to go right through the food plot or, you know, make a visual representation to our food plot. So one, we're gonna keep increasing the likelihood of daylight activity on this food plot, making it less pressured and making better access to other stands as well. So we're just in here doing a little cleanup, changing out an SD card on a camera. Not running a ton of cameras right now. Just, I mean, summertime is just nice info on what deer are here, you know, are the fawns starting to drop, how healthy are the deer, those types of things, what are they utilizing. It's a lot of observation and seeing how things change and adapt to all of our habitat work. So that's why we do cameras all year round out here. But we're out here just rough cutting this trail down, making some more observations, making some plans for this fall and how we're gonna access and hunt this, and getting ready to plant our screening. That'll be coming up here in a week or two, and get all of that in and going. All right, see you out there. All right, since we got quite a bit of water up here in our main access road, we're just gonna walk over to some apple trees we've planted last spring. Just do a little bit of maintenance on them, and then check our corn plots, see how those are doing, see if we got any plants coming up. Really excited to see what happens there, so stay tuned. All right, this is just the early stage here of our corn plot. Things are starting to pop through. Not a bunch yet, but they are starting. There's one. There's one. Yeah, they're going. They're just starting to pop through. Lots of them are starting. Like, this is really early stage here. Just starting. So we've got about 8 to 12 rows, maybe a little bit more in there. Then behind us, it's about 6 or 7 rows that are in here. And then another 6 in here. So let's just go take a look. Yeah, we're seeing they're popping. There's some that just didn't get all the way down, but there's one planted that's popping through. This one's popping through. You go a ways down, you look, and they're popping through everywhere. It's just gonna be slow. Yeah, see it. Popping through. Early stages. So we're looking at about a week and a day or two planted. They're just starting. Never planted in here for a really long time. You come over to this side, what you see here is a bunch of them are popping through still. Yeah. once you start looking for them, you start seeing them everywhere. There's one popping through. I mean, just starting. So early stage here, but good to see. Yeah, got some popping here. So it's nice to see some plants starting to pop through this early stage of this corn plot. You know, I've had little expectations just because we haven't done anything to the soil. We haven't done anything to this land before. So having crops starting to pop through the soil, I'm pretty optimistic. We're gonna definitely keep watching this and see how it goes. Yeah, I mean, it looks like there's probably a bunch of plants in here that still haven't popped through the surface yet. It's about, yeah, 8 or 9 days in since we planted. So it's coming along. Yeah, I'm just looking down these rows. I'm seeing quite a few plants popping through really, really little. And we're gonna come in here and kill off any of these weeds and grasses that come up as fast as, you know, as soon as these plants start to get a little bit of growth on them, I think we'll come in and start spraying this, because these weeds and grasses are gonna explode in here in the next 2 weeks. So I know that, yeah, we're gonna have to do that for sure. All right, let's go check out another spot. All right, we are just doing a little bit of maintenance on these cages around these apple trees. They've all got shifted during a couple of big windstorms, and just trying to get things back in order so we're not rubbing on the trees and causing any more damage, and making sure these are protecting the trees from all the other critters. We're gonna have to kind of reset that one in place, but I think it'll be okay. It had some blossoms on last week, so we'll see what happens. Haven't been to the other 6 that we planted last spring yet. That's on the other side of the river, but that'll be later this week. We'll get over there and check those out and get them all repositioned again and back in business. But in here, this is where we're starting to transform everything around these trees. And so I've been broadcasting clover down in here, and things are starting to pop up. You know, it's not much, but a lot of these little plants in here, we've got lots of clover coming up, and even some brassicas that I planted in here last fall. All of a sudden they're starting to pop up for whatever reason, but they're in there. But yeah, we're starting to transform this little apple food plot, and come fall, this might be a whole different place in here. So stay tuned. Next year we're gonna prune these and start reshaping the trees a little bit more and getting some growth to spark up. But they've been working on the roots this past year and getting established, and they're fully leafed out, had some blossoms. Good sign. Couple years, I think we'll have maybe some apples on here. So here we go. We're gonna check the rest of this clover plot here and kind of see where we're at. I mean, it's a work in progress. Okay, so this little section of the tilled area that we planted corn in is doing much better. But here we've actually planted brassicas before and clover, and so we've tilled this ground and prepared this ground the last couple seasons, and compared to where we just tilled, I mean, I can see so many more plants in here, and that's got significant more growth in here. I mean, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 right there. And they're just barely cracking the surface over here and the surface over there. But here, they've got little bit of growth already. So this is looking good in this section of the corn plot. I think if anything, we're gonna have a little bit in here. Way more plants coming up in here already. And we've got twice the growth on these ones down here, so more to come. In here, we got a little bit more time to prepare this soil, and we're definitely getting it a lot better germination and a lot more crops poking through already. This is like twice tilled. From that to this is going over it twice. The stuff up on the hill over there was maybe once in a couple spots were tilled lightly twice. So cool to see it. We got crops all through this spot. We've got crops heading down the hillside over here all the way down. So another week should be a big change in here. So we're gonna have a strip of screen in here, probably Egyptian wheat. One to cover our access coming in to these stands, and that kind of blockades off this open area even more. So come around to this other side. This is another road in that we use. This is how I killed my buck last year, was down in those woods. I came in and parked right here. We didn't have really any screen. To come in here now and see this transform, it's really cool, and we're gonna have a pretty good stretch of Egyptian wheat in here. So we're gonna be able to get to this stand really well without having to do, well, we're gonna be able to get in here a lot easier without alerting deer, and you know, reduces our noise. This is gonna be sweet. So this will be another screen through here, blocking off all of the apple trees and the food plots down in here. And then this will all be corn that direction.